Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Cycle Breakers Show. In this show, we are helping entrepreneurs be able to break through their self-sabotage so they can start to increase their income. And we're super excited today because we're going to be talking about the first step of how we help entrepreneurs do that in regards to their nervous system regulation. And we're going to be talking about a good amount of tools here that all entrepreneurs need so that they can break through that self-sabotage that is holding them back and ultimately start to increase their income. So, my name's Sid Clevenger. I'm one of the original Cycle Breakers here with my beautiful wife, Tiffany Toombs.
Hello, everyone.
And I'm super excited to break down this episode because in this episode, we're going to talk about some of the exercises specifically for me that I started using and that really started helping me break through a lot of the self-sabotage that was caused through a lot of my procrastination and past trauma that I had had. So first and foremost, Tiff, why is it important that entrepreneurs regulate their nervous system, and what does it kind of help them do?
Yeah, so if you are dysregulated, your nervous system is in survival mode. So it essentially feels like a bear or a lion is chasing it. Now, when we're in survival mode, the only thing that we care about is surviving that moment. So we are going to make decisions based on surviving that moment and not our long-term goals. So we become all about instant gratification and not about the long-term vision, right? Or long-term gratification. So for example, if you're in survival mode, you are more likely to emotionally eat or binge eat crappy food because your body says, I need to run away or fight this bear. So I need quick, instant hits of sugar, right? Now, if you're attempting to lose weight, that's not going to be good for the long term goal. In
I
business,
found that out.
yeah, in business, your long term goal might be to grow your income, right? Which the strategy that you're using might be that you need to put more content out online. In the right now, your nervous system is going to say, well, we can't make more money than our tribe, than the people that we surround ourselves with, because then I'll be kicked out of the tribe. And now I'm less likely to survive on my own. And if I'm more visible, if more people can see me, there's more threat of being attacked, and that's not safe. So then you procrastinate and you shut down, or you're like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, right? You keep putting it off. You lose your creative ability. You forget the ideas that you had, et cetera, et cetera. So
Mhm.
when we regulate ourselves, first we come out of survival mode, and then we can expand our nervous system capacity to feel safe to hit the goals that we're looking to achieve.
Okay, so now we've talked about why regulating is important. Let's talk about how to regulate. There are specific tools, but what we classify as exercises that we give away in our community. We call it the Nervous System Reset. It's a program that we actually used to sell. We've helped over 1,000 people with our Nervous System Reset routine. And ultimately what that is. And in this episode, we want to kind of go over a couple of those with you. But then, of course, all 7 of those you can get inside of our free community. But you get our nervous system reset program inside of our community. It's absolutely free. It's called the Cycle Breaker Society. It's on school, and you can get there by either going down there below and clicking in the show notes or the description wherever you're watching or listening. Go down there, click on that to join the community for the 7 exercises, or you can just go to cyclebreakersociety.com. Again, that's cyclebreakersociety.com, and it'll take you over to our community for you to join and instantly unlock these 7 exercises. But Tiffany, let's go over a couple of these with the people listening now. So, what's the first exercise slash tool slash resource that you would give our listeners when it comes to regulating their nervous system?
So, first exercise we're going to talk about is called box breathing. Now, one of the fastest ways to regulate the nervous system is through our breath. If you're breathing really, really fast, that is going to trigger the nervous system to feel like there is a threat. Even if there's no threat, like if you were to just start breathing really, really quickly here right now, you're going to feel that agitation rising because your body is going to respond, even though you're sitting in your house, chilling. Whereas when we intentionally slow our breath down, then we come out of survival mode. So with box breathing, what you're going to do, and by the way, this is the go-to tool for Navy SEALs before they enter any sort of mission that they go on. This is how they
Sweet.
regulate
It's
themselves.
my go-to exercise as well.
So what you're going to do, and Sid is not a Navy SEAL, but he is an entrepreneur. So
I am not a Navy SEAL, no, but when it came to the 7 exercises, worked. This one worked for me pretty instantly, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, this one's easy. This one worked. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing it." You know?
So
So yeah,
what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in for 4 counts. You're going to hold for 4 counts. You're going to breathe out for 4 counts. And you're going to hold for 4 counts. And you're going to repeat that a minimum of 4 times. You can also do this for a period of time. So for 1, 2, 3 minutes, etc. It'll take you about 1 minute to do 4 rounds. So breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. Now, some people, if you've got really weak lung capacity or you're used to taking a lot of breaths per minute, you can shorten it to 2 to 3 counts, but just making sure that all the breathe in, the hold, the breathe out, the hold are the same, right? We're basically creating a square with our breath. So we want them all to be the same. If you have really great lung capacity and you want to hold for longer, 6 or 8 counts, that's totally fine as well, as long as all the counts are the same. So that's box breathing.
and I'll tell you too with box breathing. The first few times I did it, I felt like I was doing it wrong. So I think like you kind of get into a routine, especially if you've never done this. I'd never done any type of breathing exercises before. When I started this a few years ago. So again, I don't want to say practice. I hate saying the word but doing it over and over again. I don't want to say it's going to be perfect because everybody kind of does it in their own way. But I guess getting in the routine is going to be the big thing. Like, doing it and doing it every day, doing it at the same time every day, using it to kind of I use it in the morning to set up my day and to take control of my emotions early in the day. So I think just do it do it. And if you like it, do it again. But again, like getting into that routine is not only going to help you get more comfortable with doing it, but you're going to start really noticing, especially in that first week, of how much better you feel.
Absolutely. And so, one thing that I recommend for people is in the beginning to actually set alarms to remind them to do it,
I
right?
have to set alarms, so don't feel bad.
And
Tiffany
then
sets alarms too. We both
And
do.
then that's going to create the muscle memory. What a lot of people do is they say, well, I'll do this, I'll try it once and then I'll do it when I'm feeling anxious or when I'm having a panic attack. The challenge with that is that's kind of like saying, I'll go to the gym when I need to lose weight. Like if you just did your nervous system regulation daily, you created that daily routine, which doesn't need to take more than 10 minutes a day, then you would feel less anxious overall. Now, you still might in the beginning have some moments where anxiety is higher when life hits, but it's going to be easier to remember to use these tools because you have that muscle memory.
Yep. So that's box breathing. Like I said, that's one of my go-tos. I do this in the morning as part of my morning routine, mixed with water and sunlight, which is, I'm really big on doing every single morning. Now that's one. Now, what would be another one? Again, if someone's like, I don't know if I want to do breathing exercises, what's another one that someone could do that doesn't really involve breathing? Or for me at first, I was like, I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this wrong. Like, I don't know, and I was like, what are the others? So what is another one? I know the next one I know you want to talk about is a super popular one. A lot of our clients use it. I know you use it. I actually do this one at night before I go to bed. What is that second one that I know you wanted to go over that can really help someone in the now, right now, while doing it, while listening to this episode, and by the end of the episode, probably feeling a lot better.
So it's called the easy exercise. Now, this one, the shifts are going to be more subtle because what this one is doing is it's strengthening the vagus nerve. Now, the vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve in the body, which basically just means it starts in the brain and then it runs through all the major organs, our heart, our lungs, our gut, etc.
You and your big words again.
The
Cranial.
vagus nerve,
Jeez.
I want you to start thinking of it like the gearbox in your car. Okay. And so it shifts us from one gear to another. The gear that the vagus nerve shifts us between is the sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight, flight, freeze, fawn, your survival mode, your dysregulated system, and your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your regulated, calm, rest, digest mode. Okay. Now, when we live in a society like we do that promotes busyness, hustle and grind, etc., where busyness is a badge of honor, people compete to see who's the most stressed out, who has the biggest workload, etc., we lose the
The world
ability. It's
I used
almost
to
like
live
that
in.
gear shift. That gear shift gets stuck in survival mode. and it loses the ability to move us out. So what the easy exercise does is it strengthens part of the quote unquote muscle. It's not a muscle, I know that, but I'm just saying that for people who to understand it better. But for the other science nerds, I know that it's a nerve and not a muscle, but it strengthens the tone of the vagus nerve to be able to move us out of sympathetic nervous system and into parasympathetic. Okay, so think of this almost like you're doing a bicep curl. If you do bicep curls, you're going to have more toned biceps. If you do the easy exercise, you're going
Did
to
you just
increase the tone.
flex on our
Yes, I
show?
did flex.
You just flexed on our show.
I did
Oh my
flex.
gosh.
Uh, so the easy exercise is going to strengthen the vagus nerve to be able to move you into your parasympathetic nervous system. So you're going to do this one laying on your back. Now, obviously, I'm not going to lay on my back as I demo this or as I talk you through it, but you will do this on your back. You're going to clasp your hands and pop them behind your head, almost like you're doing the sit-up position, right?
It's like you're flexing all over again, but you're
You're
doing it on
cradling
your
your
back.
head in your hands, and you're going to keep your nose and your chin pointed towards the ceiling. So you're going to keep your head straight. You're only moving your eyes. You're
Mm.
going to take your eyes and move them all as far left as you can go without pain. If you're getting pain, then you need to back off a little bit. And you're going to hold until you either yawn, you feel a big sigh, or you feel tingles down your spine,
Talk about
or for
yawning.
1 minute. Okay. So
Mm.
1 minute is the longest you're going to hold it for. If you get the yawn side tingles before then you can stop. You're going to come back to center, and then you're going to take your eyes to the right, and you're going to hold there as far right as you can go without pain for either 1 minute or until you get the yawn side tingles, whichever comes first. Now, I just want to say that when I started doing this exercise, it took me almost a year, 1 year, before I started getting the yawn side tingles before the minute was up. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're still doing something even if you don't get the yawn side or
Well,
tingle.
and I think, the first one we talked about was box breathing, which I think for me at least, I had like an immediate, like, oh, I feel calmer. I feel better. When I started doing so, you might be able to see I do the box breathing in the morning just because it just, for me, logically makes more sense to do in the morning. At night, I like doing the easy exercise because the easy exercise it's something I can do when I'm laying in bed. So it's something I literally go and it's just kind of like I lay in bed and then like I usually look at you and Chad. You're usually sleeping at that time by then, but I look at you and Chad and then I lay there and I just like put my hands up around Chad usually because he's like on top of me. And then, usually in the dark, I just do this. And, like you said, it took me a long time before I started getting the yawn or the sigh. But something I would also like to mention about, and this is just my personal experience, but I personally didn't get the instant gratification like with doing this, like I did with the box breathing. This one was more or less like, I think it was probably like a week or two after I did it consistently, day in and day out, and just didn't really think about it. And then next thing I knew, I just like woke up and I was like, holy cow, like I feel different. And so I think just to kind of like give some expectations. Like I think the box breathing is very much in the moment. You're gonna feel this kind of like I feel better. However, I always felt like I had to come back to box breathing, whether it was throughout the day or the next day to kind of get that feeling again. It was maybe a shorter fuse. Whereas with the easy exercise, like when I would do that, yeah, it might take a week or two to like feel the big effects. But I felt like it was effects that lasted a lot longer time because I would build it up. So it's two kind of like different ways of getting there, but they both work. They both work really well, and I match them. I kind of do kind of like look at it as short term, long term, right? So I kind of match them. Do one in the morning, one at night, and they take my box breathing. It's under 5 minutes. I usually do 20 breaths, 20 to 25 breaths, and then at night, the easy exercise is 2 minutes. So I mean, it's like a 7 minute routine for me for the day, just doing those two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
And
there are,
so
yeah, go ahead.
So those are two of the seven exercises that we
Hmm.
have for you as part of the 7 day nervous system reset. You by no means have to do all seven every single day, but what we do recommend is first go to cyclebreakersociety.com, join the community. You're going
In the
to
show notes.
unlock those seven exercises right away. Then try them each once, maybe twice. Figure out which exercises you like the best. And from there, you're going to put together your daily routine that will take you no more than 10 minutes a day that you can come back to. I like to do 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night. That way, I'm regulating in the morning to set myself up for the day. and I'm regulating myself before I go to bed so that I have a good sleep. Now, if I'm having a day where it seems like everything's going wrong, I might use some of the exercises during the day, but those days are fewer and far between than what they used to be before I started this daily routine. So that's what we recommend for you. We wanted to give you 2 exercises here to get started with. The other 5 are in the community. Just go to cyclebreakersociety.com and you can grab them there.
And I think obviously if you're listening to this and you're not watching the video, or if you watch the video and you didn't feel like maybe, Tiff kind of did a quick explanation of them, when you join that community, Tiffany actually takes you through a full training about what the exercise is, why it's important, but she actually does a demo with you as well. So like I know when I first started doing box breathing, I thought I was doing it wrong. When I first started doing the easy exercise, I thought I was doing it wrong. So especially if you come from a lot of self-doubt or imposter syndrome, or you come into like if you have perfectionism and stuff like that, like it's a lot of people have, like again, by joining the community, even if you again join the community to get this, download it, and leave. A lot of people don't leave, but if they do, whatever, like, get these. Tiffany's going to show you, right, specifically like in a video, like the who, what, when, where, how, but she's also going to demo it for you, and she's going to be like, this is how you do it. Let's do it together. And a lot of our community members love that because they can actually do it as they're watching the video. And I think that makes it a lot easier, especially if you've never done any type of nervous system work in the past. So again, you can just go down there below, click on the button or click on the link down there to join our community, or just simply go to cyclebreakersociety.com. Again, that's cyclebreakersociety.com. You'll instantly unlock our nervous system reset. And until next time, I'm Sid. This is my beautiful and amazing wife, Tiffany. Thank you for visiting us and coming to our show today called The Cycle Breakers Show. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of The Cycle Breakers. This channel is dedicated to giving you the tools that you need to clear out the blocks holding you back so you can live the life that you desire. Now, before you go, as our special gift to you, we have our 7-day nervous system reset. These are the exact exercises that I give all of our clients in every single one of our programs to help them regulate their nervous system, to make that inner work and clearing out those mental blocks so much easier. The best part, it's absolutely free. Just click on the link in the description below and you'll get instant access.